So I didn't expect to be a 10. I mean, especially when I saw that Green Bay was whatever and came up as an 11, and Gonzaga was a 12. Two teams that are, probably considered to be, maybe the top two mid-majors this year, other than Delaware. I didn't expect to be a 10, but sometimes you can move up or down one slot based on just geography or something, conference affiliation. But to basically be the last one in, because I knew we weren't going to be a 15 and I knew we weren't going to be a 2. It's a pretty incredible feeling. Pretty incredible. You could feel the tension, sitting amidst the players, and just that they got more and more quiet over the course of the show. And everybody was nervous before, but I think the nerves over the 40 or so minutes from 6:05 when they first started calling names to 6:45 was pretty. You could tell that there was a difference. So I tell you what, I'm just everybody at our conference has made fun of the way we schedule in a lot of ways over the years, and so for me personally, this feels really good because I feel like it did come down to non-conference scheduling. It felt like I'm a procrastinator. I do the scheduling. A lot of head coaches know that I do it, and the last 3 games that we put in place this year were Oklahoma, at BYU, who was picked to win their league, and then at Minnesota. If we hadn't done those, if we had said, hey, let's do one tough one and 2 easy ones in the last 3, I don't think we'd have gotten in. But I said we got a veteran team. We got to give ourselves more chances to win hard games, and now ironically, the only one of those 3 we won was at BYU. We lost in double overtime in Minnesota. But I think just the intent of what we did and the overall non-conference resume was probably what put us over the top.
How happy are you just for the girls to have to deal with the suspense like that and be able to come through at the very last matchup?
I'm thrilled for them because, the game we lost the other day, we could have just as easily won, and that didn't, Illinois State deserved to win, but we certainly could have won that game, and, I think it would have been a toss-up had we played Wichita. So just, I said in the locker room after that game, I said we were a bit unlucky to lose today, but hopefully we'll be lucky on Monday, and it took us a long time to get lucky, but we were.
What's your thoughts on that matchup?
You said you got
I was so unproductive. I was distracted, and I went to lunch with Coach Booth, and then I got a mid-afternoon workout in, and I did a few things. I watched our Illinois State game again, kind of rewatched parts of it. We met as a staff and talked about some things that we needed to do if we got the NCAA bid tonight, because if we didn't get the NCAA bid, the NIT bid wouldn't come out till like 10:30, so we just wait till the morning. So we kind of got our ducks in order in terms of being ready to go tonight to meet and start work on our travel party and our travel plans. And I honestly, I don't even know if we're playing Saturday or Sunday. That didn't even register.
To go back-to-back into the NCAA tournament, what does that mean? If I'm looking correctly, that's first time.
Yeah, it's big for our program. I think it's going to help us in recruiting. It's going to help us next year. It's going to hopefully help fill this arena next year, or come closer to filling it. And there's just, I don't know. And we've got kids who've done it the right way. So it's big. It's hard to do. It's hard as a mid-major to do. It's hard. I found out as a head coach, it's hard to do it once. It's hard to do it twice. But hopefully, if you continue to do it, you can be the Green Bay or the Gonzaga or whoever the Marist of women's basketball, and maybe it becomes a little easier when you start to do it.
We obviously don't have to use it to keep that medical talk case.
Yes, I did. I mean, Glenn had prepared me had said, you're going to have to talk no matter what. And I said, well, I felt for the girls because I felt, I've done this long enough. I was going to be really disappointed that I don't get only 4 opportunities and they only get 4 opportunities. So I felt like I'd be ready to do it, but I wasn't. I was a little bit more conscious of that, to be honest, by the time we got to bracket number 4 and we hadn't been, I was like, okay, now what am I going to say? Because I kind of thought about a few things earlier in the day, but I'm fairly optimistic by nature. I really believed we would get in, but I certainly wasn't 90 to 100% confident. And I felt like we were going to get in, but like I said, I wouldn't have bet my huge Creighton salary on it.
Is that the most nervous you've ever been to the rating?
It was. From the standpoint that everybody around you is nervous too, so your own nerves are compounded by the people around you, and that's and just the feeling that I would have had for our players. Because like I said, I mean, I really love our group of kids, and I think that we battled against a great schedule and had a really difficult loss on Saturday, but like I said, just as easily could have won. So I was incredibly nervous and quiet, like I think everybody was there at the end. And then I'm thinking, what am I going to say to you guys when and feeling bad for you guys for coming out. But I hope you got some good footage of some jumping around.
What just thoughts on that first matchup? I know it's not what's going on in your mind right now, but just initial impressions.
Well, I've watched Syracuse, maybe once a year over the years. They play a lot of zone, I think. They've got a really good post player. I watched some of their game against UConn in the Big East semis, and they played. I think they lost by 13, but I think they outscored UConn in the second half. So they're a good team. I mean, I think they were maybe 4th in the Big East, maybe tied for 3rd. So they've kind of been late to the dance. The last 2-3 years, they've made a push, and I know they've got a really good post player, and they play a decent amount of full court defense and a decent amount of zone. Other than that, I don't really know a lot. I mean, I know South Florida beat them in a late regular season game when we played South Florida. So I think it's they're obviously a good team, but I think it's a decent matchup, and playing at Tennessee would be a great environment, great opportunity for our players.
You guys had so much momentum last year going into the tournament. Do you feel like waiting for the last second like this and being rewarded can give you that kind of momentum this year?
I sure hope so. I mean, I just, I think, to be honest, I felt like we were maybe playing a little bit better at the end of last year. But I trust this group in terms of, you're not, as the men experience, you're not going to play your best over 30 games. And, the thing that we've done is we've had some close game experience. Even though we haven't played as well as I'd like, I like the fact that we've been in 3 close games in the last 2.5 weeks, 3, down to the wire games. And those sorts of experiences are invaluable when you go into the postseason. And I like the fact that you get to play somebody they're going to be prepared, and we're going to be prepared, but it's not the same as somebody you just played or you've played twice and you've seen them on film, 18 times. I mean, this is a game that you'll have a short prep time, and in some ways that makes for a little prettier basketball than sometimes you see late season when you're playing somebody 3 times, the 3rd time.